The life of a theater cat is tough. It's not easy like most people think. You run around from audition to audition, doing readings. I spend most of my time trying to figure out how to pay my bills. There are lots of colorful characters in show business. Some become legends for their antics and controversy. I was on my way this evening to have dinner with Mops the monkey, who is in a league of his own. I considered Mops my friend, but in truth I'd been avoiding him since he got back to New York, because I'd heard he'd been fired from a big Broadway tour and friends had said he'd been acting strangely and erratically. Nevertheless, I agreed to have dinner with him tonight at an expensive French restaurant, even though I'd like nothing better than to stay home and have my human Debbie heat me up a nice saucer of milk. Mops!
Wally!
You look terrific.
Well, I feel terrible. Listen, Wally, I've been thinking a lot about that movie, My Dinner with Andre. I mean, why is it such a brilliant film? Most people have never seen it, but I've watched it several times. It's fascinating. But why? I just spent over a year working on a Broadway tour as, I don't know, some sort of an extra. My role was to entertain the actors and the orchestra during a scene where two onstage actors made chimpanzee sounds. Yeah, kind of a perfect gig for me since I'm a monkey and all. Every night I did some sort of a free-form improv bit, always different, always creative. Anyway, it's a long story, but at a certain point my work was not being appreciated by one of the actors, so stage management asked me to tone it down a bit. So I thought, what would be more boring and toned down than to reenact My Dinner with Andre? I mean, two tiny actors sitting behind a djembe on the percussion rig, just talking to each other? How could that be disruptive?
Oh, what happened?
Well, when I started the scene, one of the actors on stage started laughing his head off. And the actor who didn't like me saw this and she got so angry. She got me fired that night. A year of brilliant improv brought to a screeching halt just like that.
May I take your drink orders?
Yeah, could I have a club soda?
I'm sorry, sir. We only serve sauce de pavillon.
What on earth is Sorte de Pavillon?
It's water with bubbles.
That would be fine, thank you.
But you know, Wally, I really wasn't upset about it. I mean, there I was, living my life on the road. And by the way, sometimes we just need to go on the road, you know, like Jack Kerouac. Otherwise, we just become puppets in this world. I never had a desire to get into these crazy adventures. But now I feel alive and free, kind of like I climbed Mount Everest or something.
Do you want to know my honest opinion about all this? I mean, my honest opinion is I see no reason to go on tour. I mean, I spend my day playing with my toy mouse. My human Debbie puts food in a bowl every morning and night. And, I mean, I've got everything I need here in New York. I wouldn't mind having an electric blanket. But all in all, I'm just happy to get up in the morning and see there's no cockroach in my cat bowl. You know? I mean, what do you think? Isn't life abrasive enough as it is?
Maybe you're right. Let's get out of here and grab a cab to Times Square.
This was a good idea. By the way, have you ever seen that musical Come From Away?
No, but I hear it's great.